to say that you belong to a certain particular tribe. But the matter does not end there. You will be more proud again to say that you are a Sumi Naga. That completes the sentence. Yes, by introducing yourself that you are a Sumi, that itself is a pride, a proudful moment. But to complete the sentence, to make you more proud again, you would have to say, and we would have to say, that you are a Sumi Naga. Today, our Naga society is confronted with so many issues. Where do we start cleansing? As politicians, as student leaders, as Kagami, as Poho leaders, as church leaders, as government servants. We all are equally responsible in bringing positive change to the Naga society. Who will start? Where do we start? How do we start? These are questions that all of us are looking for an answer. And one answer which I have just given you is the way we introduce that I am a Sumi, I am a Sumina. I'm a Lota, I'm a Lotana, so on and so forth. That will help us to understand who we are. If we only confine to our village, to our range, and to our tribe alone, we will be left behind. We will be left behind. We have to march along with the fast-changing world. And in this context, as Sumi, as a tribe alone, you will be able to survive. How do we do that? How do we survive? We have to sell along with the rest of the Naga people. And you have been in the forefront. For that matter, if we are the top of the Naga national movement, you are in the forefront, leading the Naga people. Leading the Naga people means inclusivity, not exclusivity. Not for a particular tribe, not for a particular location, a geographical area, but for the entire Nagas. This is where Sumis were a part of it. We are a part of that and we are still a part of it. I would like to throw a challenge today that Sumi brothers and sisters have a pivotal role to play in bringing the Nagas together again. Let us come back to the students. Sumis are known as warrior. This is also labeled as land of warrior, the Zunheboto district. Now, in the present, that was in the past context, when another village was fighting with another village, that you need to claim victory by becoming a powerful warrior, by using spears, dows, because we don't have automatic weapons those days. So those are our weapons, and we claim victory out of it. Now, how do we convert that warrior, a spear, a dow, warrior into an intellectual warrior? A student conference like this, the Sumi Kapibi Karu, we have to reflect ourselves, our society, Sumi society. You have to convert that warrior, that braveness, that spear and dow warrior into an intellectual warrior. I would like to give you an example. All of us use mobile. Mobile is one which, unless it is in our pocket, we find it very difficult to even for an hour. Forget about an hour, a minute, let us say a second for the youngsters again. Now, in this competitive world, most of you holding mobiles, I don't think any one of you are using Nokia today. When the mobile revolution took place, Nokia was one of the most popular company in the mobile world. Nokia was dominating. To procure one handset, Nokia is such a pride moment actually for the first time users. Those elderly people will know. But for the youngsters, it just went out of the market. The CEO, the Chief Executive Officer of the Nokia, in his press conference, when the Nokia was acquired by the Microsoft, because they have to sell it to Microsoft company. So what did he say? He said, we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost it. He was into tear falling down from his eyes. So also all his company workers, because the company has to close down. They have to retrench quite a number of company. So what did he say? He said, we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost it. He was into tear falling down from his eyes. So also all his company workers, because the company has to close down. They have to retrench quite a number, millions of employees. So they have to retrench them, these young employees of Nokia. They have to sell it, they were selling it to Microsoft. So he said, we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost it. Why? Because Nokia was very popular as far as the keypad mobile is concerned. The keypad. But when the keypad was converted into touch screen, this is called touch screen. I used to say screen touch. So it has to be touch screen. That confuses me. So when from a revolution from a keypad to a touch, converted to the touch screen, Nokia company could not compete with the rest of the companies, like the Samsung, Apple, Oppo, I don't know all these companies. These are the mobile brands which we all are holding in India. So Nokia could not catch up the revolution that was taking place in the mobile world, and they lost the market because majority of the citizens of this world were converting from a keypad to touch screen. So unfortunately, Nokia could not catch up with the changing times. So they lost the market. They missed out the company. The company could not catch up the fast changing world. Their opponent was so powerful, so advanced. The world was so advanced. So they missed what they have missed out. They missed out changing. Changing means from keypad to touch screen. They could not catch up with the rest of the companies. So they missed, what they missed out in between was, they missed out changing. You have to change. This is what I would like to connect with what I say, that from a spare down warrior to an intellectual warrior, you have to become more intellectual. That's Sumi community, as a Naga community. You have to change. Nokia missed out that changing part, that changing portion. So they lost the opportunity. They lost the opportunity of capturing the market. And at last, what happened? They lost even their survival. I don't know whether Nokia is coming back in the market now, because I've not been using Nokia for quite a long years now. But they would not come back to the market, and they lost their survival. This will happen, this is happening, this will happen to our society. So is this happening to our Sumi society? Is the intellectual group is lessening? Is it in the downtrend, the intellectual community? To be prideful as a tribe, to be proud as a tribe is one thing. But where are we heading as Sumi, as students, as intellectuals? Are you competing the rest of the world with the rest of the Nagas? In which standard are you? I was trying to find out the educational indicator. Just a few days back, my friend, the education advisor, and myself, we were just debating on how to take the Nagaland education system forward. We cannot go on like this. So in the educational indicator, the Zunheboto district is in the downtrend. You have the, according to the report, you have the highest number of dropouts. You have the lesser number of enrollment. From lesser number of enrollment to the highest number of dropouts, just imagine. Where are we heading? Are you catching up with time? This is what I would like to narrate, connect with Nokia's story. You will miss changing. And at last what will happen? You will miss survival. Even survival. So in the educational indicator, you are in the downtrend. As student body, SKK, and they are upcoming students, we have to do a lot of homework. How do we bring up our upcoming generation as an intellectual society, as an intellectual body? This is what I would like to draw a challenge in this conference. There was one a rich man. Let us connect that story. You all know that story. A rich man bought a horse because it was sold in the market that the fastest horse in the world. So he was so happy, such a rich man who wouldn't feel like acquiring a very powerful horse, owning a powerful horse, fastest horse in the world. Definitely, if you're a rich man, you will feel like owning a horse. So he bought the horse, kept in the farm without training, without doing anything, because it's the fastest horse in the world. So happily he bought it and kept it. Then there was a competition of horse race, and since he bought the fastest horse in the world, he thought that his horse will win the race. So he also participated in that horse race with his horse. And he thought it would be an easy win, a hands down, without much competition. So when he sent his horse for the horse race, his horse took the last. Now let us come back to the Naga nationalism. Wherever I go, I touch this aspect because this is a core part of our life. We cannot do away with this. We are people with political conscience that has helped us to grow as one community as a Naga, one nation as a Naga. Our history is clear, there is no dispute about it. But let us also reinvent, redefine our Naga patriotism. How do we define it? How do we reinvent it? Let me define and reinvent in this way, that hard work, we have to go back to the hard work. That will be a part of, within the parameter of the Naga patriotism. We have to go back to honesty. Honesty will also be within the parameter of the Naga patriotism. We have to be inclusive, not exclusive. That will be a part of the Naga patriotism. We have to protect one another as like the ancient days where we have started our movement, protecting of each other as one Naga community. That will be a part of the Naga patriotism. We have to shelter one another as Naga community. This all amongst many will comprise our Naga patriotism, and we must reinvent this so that our movement also gets strengthened And as a Naga, we will survive together. If we only try to survive as a tribe, as a village, as an individual, as a range, no, we are heading for a doomed society, a negative society, which will not help us in the near future. And therefore, these are few challenges which I would like to put across as we conduct this conference with the theme, breaking barriers. The literal meaning of the breaking barriers could be, you have to, whether it is in education, whether it is in competitive exams, or where you are being stopped, where you are not being progressive. We are going to break barriers for them. A simple meaning to that breaking barriers, in which way we define them. It will also depend on our perspective, but it could be anything that prevents us from further progress. Anything that prevents us from making progress. So we are going to break barriers, that one. What is holding the Sumis back? What is there? Is that our pride? Is that we are using the braveness in a negative way? What is holding back? You have chosen the right thing, breaking barriers. So a breaking barriers meaning anything that is holding you back from progressing. Anything that is preventing you from making progress. So what is there? This conference, I have drawn a little light. We must discover that. This conference must discover that where Sumis have to break barriers. What is preventing you? These are few things which I would like to put across as a food of thought. As to conclude my speech, I would like to narrate one story for the benefit of all of us, which you all know. A king was having a lot of advisors, and he asked his advisors that you must bring a good advice, a wisdom, which I would like to leave it for the younger generation. So the advisors work day and night. As advisors, the king ordering, definitely they have to work very hard. So they brought volumes of wisdom, advices. 1 volume, 2 volume. So the king said, the king coolly rejected, no, not this much volume. Again, they work very hard day and night. They brought back with a few chapters again. The king said, no, not this much. Nobody will read volumes of wisdom, chapters of wisdom. Nobody will read, too long. Again, they worked very hard. They brought it into 1 page. The king said, no, this is also too long. Too long for the younger generation to read. I cannot pass on these words of wisdom this much long. They worked on it again. They brought with half page of their write-up. The king rejected, no, this is also too long. So at last, they brought 1 sentence. And what is that 1 sentence? You all know that there is no free lunch. The king finally accepted. This is what I would like to convey to the younger generation. If there is any wisdom that I would like to pass on to the coming generation, there is no free lunch. I think with that, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this program and congratulating the outgoing team, also wishing all the best for the new office bearers who will be elected through this conference, and hopefully our SKK, the Sumi Society, and will grow from strength to strength, and we will continue to work together as one Naga family. Thank you.
Nagaland TV, Sop Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapu viewers, we are on channel number 994 in Global Chapter, and Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill Digital. For all news and updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.